Have you ever watched your whole world fall apart piece by piece? She did. One morning, Emma woke up with dreams, and by sunset she had lost them all. Her family gone. Her job gone. Her home gone. But what she didn't lose was her hope. Emma was 24, full of energy, belief, and plans. She lived with her parents in a small rented apartment and worked in a clothing store. Her father used to say, "If you work hard with honesty, life will always reward you." She believed that completely. But life doesn't always play fair. One rainy evening, while she was returning from work, her phone rang. It was from the hospital. A drunk driver had crashed into her parents' car. Within hours, the two people who were her whole world were gone. She sat outside the hospital that night, numb, staring into the rain. The sound of thunder echoed, but she couldn't hear anything. She wanted to scream, but her voice was lost. Everything inside her broke silently. Days turned into weeks. She stopped eating properly. She would wake up crying at 3 a.m., wondering why everything was taken away from her. Her colleagues tried to help, but grief is something that no one can fix for you. Because she was missing work again and again, her manager finally said, "Emma, I'm sorry, you need to take a long break." But Emma knew the truth. She had just lost her job. Her savings were small, the rent was due, and her world was collapsing faster than she could hold it together. Within a month, she lost her apartment too. That night, she sat on a cold park bench, her bag beside her, her eyes swollen from crying. Her heart whispered, "It's over," but something inside her, a small light, refused to die. That light was called hope. The next morning, she went to a nearby women's shelter. She asked if she could stay there for a few nights. In return, she offered to help clean and cook. The manager agreed. At the shelter, she met Sarah, a kind old woman who once used to be a school teacher. Sarah noticed Emma's eyes, tired but not lifeless. One night, Sarah said softly, "Child, sometimes God breaks us to rebuild us stronger. Maybe your story isn't ending, maybe it's just beginning." Those words touched something deep inside Emma. That night, she took out an old notebook her father had once given her. On the first page, she wrote in shaky handwriting, "Hope is my only weapon. I'll rebuild my life." The next morning, she started helping other women at the shelter. Some didn't know how to read, some couldn't even use a phone. Emma decided to teach them basic English and computer skills. She didn't have a laptop, so she used the public library computer for free. She spent hours there every day, teaching, learning, surviving. People started noticing her effort. Her smile returned slowly, not because her pain was gone, but because she had found purpose inside it. One day, a local journalist visited the shelter for an article. He saw Emma teaching women with pure passion and asked her, "Why do you help others when you have nothing yourself?" Emma smiled and said, "Because when you help others rise, you rise too." The journalist published her story online. That single line, "When you help others rise, you rise too," went viral. Within days, thousands of people were sharing her quote. Local NGOs reached out, and one offered her a job to train underprivileged women in basic education. When Emma received her first paycheck, she cried again, but this time with gratitude. She donated half of it back to the shelter that saved her life. Months passed. Her sessions became famous for being emotional, inspiring, and full of truth. She told every woman, "Pain doesn't mean punishment, sometimes it's preparation." She started getting invited to schools and community centers to share her story. Every time she spoke, people cried, not out of sadness, but because they saw themselves in her. During one session, a young girl stood up with tears in her eyes and said, "Miss Emma, I was about to end my life last month, but your video saved me." Emma's heart broke and healed at the same time. She hugged the girl and whispered, "You're stronger than you think, never let pain define you." That night when Emma went home, she looked at the stars and said quietly, "Maybe this was the reason I was broken, to understand others' pain." Years passed and Emma founded a small organization called Light Within. Its mission was simple: to help homeless women and orphans find education, skills, and dignity. She worked tirelessly, turning her pain into power. Every morning before going to work, she visited that same park where she had once slept on a bench. Now she sat there not as a homeless girl, but as a symbol of rebirth. She smiled and whispered, I lost everything, but I never lost my hope. Her story spread across social media. She was invited to speak at events, universities, and online platforms. People introduced her as the girl who turned her pain into power. One day, a woman came to her event with a small boy and said, "Emma, because of you, I didn't give up. Today I'm working and raising my son." Emma hugged her tightly, eyes filled with tears. That moment, she realized her suffering had become a bridge for others' survival. Time healed her slowly. The memories of her parents still hurt, but now those memories gave her strength. Whenever she felt weak, she would close her eyes and hear her father's voice saying, "Life will always reward the honest heart." And indeed it did. Emma continued to grow her organization. From a small shelter, it became a nationwide campaign for women empowerment. Media channels covered her journey, and her words inspired millions across the world. But deep down, Emma remained the same girl who once sat under the rain, just stronger, wiser, and filled with love. She learned that hope is not just a word, it's a living force inside every person who refuses to give up. Sometimes, life takes everything away not to destroy us, but to show us what we are truly made of. Emma's story is not about losing, it's about rising again. So if you're watching this and you feel like your world is falling apart, remember Emma's story. You may lose everything, but never lose your hope.